30. Dark Souls series. The Dark Souls series is infamous for its challenging gameplay, offering a level of difficulty that can be daunting for newcomers. Players must navigate intricately designed environments filled with powerful enemies that require precise timing and strategy. Mastery involves learning the attack patterns of foes, managing stamina during combat, and knowing when to retreat or attack. The game's complex mechanics, such as the bonfire system and the intricacies of leveling up, add another layer of depth. Additionally, the obscure lore invites players to explore and piece together the story, further enhancing the challenge. As players progress, they will find that patience and perseverance are key to overcoming the game's brutal difficulty. Ultimately, Dark Souls rewards those who commit to mastering its mechanics and environments. 29th. Cuphead. Cuphead is not just a visually stunning game, it is also one of the hardest run-and-gun titles available. The game features a unique art style reminiscent of 1930s cartoons, but don't let the charming visuals fool you. Each boss is a formidable challenge. Players must learn to dodge complex attack patterns and utilize power-ups effectively, requiring quick reflexes and precise timing. Mastering each level demands practice, as players will often face the same boss multiple times before achieving victory. The cooperative mode allows players to team up, but it also introduces new dynamics that can complicate battles. Each victory feels hard-earned, making it a rewarding experience for those willing to invest the time and effort. The satisfaction of defeating a tough boss in Cuphead is unmatched in gaming. 28th. Super Meat Boy. Super Meat Boy offers a fast-paced platforming experience filled with challenging levels and deadly traps. Players control a small, cube-like character who must navigate through hazards to rescue his girlfriend, Bandage Girl. The game is designed to test precision and timing, as even a single mistake can result in instant death. Mastery requires players to memorize level layouts and develop quick reflexes to execute jumps and maneuvers flawlessly. The variety of obstacles, from spinning blades to moving platforms, keeps players on their toes and constantly challenges their skills. Additionally, the game's addictive nature encourages players to improve their skills with each attempt. With its tight controls and punishing gameplay, Super Meat Boy is a benchmark for skill-based platformers. 27th. Sekiro: Shadows Die. Twice. From the creators of Dark Souls, Sekiro elevates the difficulty level with a focus on posture and timing, rather than health bars alone. Players must engage in intense swordplay, requiring precise parries and counterattacks to defeat formidable opponents. The game rewards aggressive gameplay, pushing players to master its intricate combat system. Each encounter is a test of skill, as players must learn enemy moves and adapt their strategies accordingly. The open world is rich with secrets, but exploration often leads to challenging boss fights that can be daunting. With its steep learning curve and demanding mechanics, Sekiro is a test of both patience and skill. Mastery in this game is not just about reflexes, but also about understanding the rhythm of combat. 26. Fighting games, e.g., Street Fighter, Tekken. Fighting games like Street Fighter and Tekken offer a complex arena for competitive players. Mastering these titles involves understanding a wide range of characters, each with unique moves, combos, and abilities. Players must learn to read their opponents, anticipate moves, and execute complex sequences under pressure. Competitive play demands practice, as players refine their skills to achieve precision in timing and execution. The depth of strategy in these games makes each match a test of wits and reflexes. Moreover, mastering advanced techniques such as frame data and canceling moves adds another layer of complexity. For those dedicated to honing their skills, the rewards of competitive fighting games are immensely satisfying. 25th. Rocket League combines soccer and vehicular mayhem, resulting in a unique and challenging gaming experience. While the concept seems straightforward, score goals using rocket-powered cars, the execution demands precise control and teamwork. Mastering aerial maneuvers and positioning is crucial for success, as players must learn to anticipate ball movements and react quickly. The game's mechanics allow for deep strategy, requiring players to communicate and coordinate with teammates effectively. As players progress, they encounter increasingly skilled opponents, challenging their abilities and adaptability. The combination of individual skill and team dynamics makes Rocket League both competitive and rewarding. Mastery in this game involves not only personal improvement, but also developing chemistry with teammates. 24. Bloodborne. Similar to the Dark Souls series, Bloodborne emphasizes fast-paced combat and strategic gameplay. Set in a hauntingly atmospheric world, players must navigate through challenging levels filled with grotesque enemies. The game encourages aggressive combat, rewarding players who master the art of dodging and countering. Each enemy encounter can turn deadly in an instant, making timing and precision crucial for survival. The lore and environment invite exploration, but players must be prepared for tough battles around every corner. With its complex mechanics and engaging combat, mastering Bloodborne is both a challenge and a journey through its eerie world. Players will find that overcoming its obstacles leads to a profound sense of accomplishment. 23rd. Celeste is a platformer that tests players' skills with tight controls and challenging levels. Players guide Madeline as she ascends a mountain, facing a variety of obstacles along the way. Each level introduces new mechanics that require quick thinking and flawless execution. The game's pixel art style is charming, but the difficulty ramps up significantly as players progress. Mastery involves not only mastering jumps, but also understanding the timing and positioning required to navigate hazards. The story elements add emotional depth, motivating players to conquer their challenges. With its combination of platforming challenges and heartfelt storytelling, Celeste remains a standout title that rewards dedication and skill. 22nd. Dota 2. Dota 2 is a complex multiplayer online battle arena MOBA that demands deep strategic thinking and teamwork. Each match involves players controlling unique heroes, each with distinct abilities and roles. Mastery requires understanding hero matchups, map control, and effective communication with teammates. Players must learn to adapt their strategies based on the dynamic nature of each match. The steep learning curve can be intimidating for newcomers, but the game offers layers of depth that reward dedicated players. As players climb the ranks, they refine their skills and develop their strategies. With its competitive nature and extensive hero pool, mastering Dota 2 is an ongoing challenge that keeps players engaged. 21st. StarCraft 2. StarCraft 2 is a fast-paced real-time strategy game that requires quick decision-making and resource management. Players must build their armies, gather resources, and outmaneuver opponents in intense battles. Mastery involves learning the strengths and weaknesses of each race, while developing strategies that counter opponents' tactics. The game demands not only strategic thinking, but also mechanical skill to execute plans efficiently. Competitive play introduces a high level of skill and intensity, with players constantly refining their techniques. Understanding the nuances of unit control and macro-micro management is crucial for success. With its depth and competitive nature, mastering StarCraft 2 remains a challenge that many players aspire to achieve. The Binding of Isaac. The Binding of Isaac is a roguelike dungeon crawler where players must navigate procedurally generated levels filled with enemies and items. Each run offers different challenges, making mastery a constant learning experience. Players must adapt their strategies based on the items they find and the enemies they encounter. Understanding item synergies and how they affect gameplay is key to success. The game's unpredictable nature means players must be prepared for anything, requiring quick thinking and adaptability. The deep lore and unique art style add to the game's charm, enticing players to explore further. With its addictive gameplay loop, mastering the Binding of Isaac is both challenging and rewarding. 19th. Spelunky. Spelunky is a roguelike platformer that challenges players with randomly generated levels filled with traps and enemies. Mastering the game involves learning enemy behaviors and level layouts to navigate successfully. Players face an array of challenges, from environmental hazards to aggressive foes, requiring quick reflexes and strategic thinking. The game encourages exploration but punishes mistakes severely, often leading to sudden deaths. Each playthrough offers new surprises, keeping players engaged and on their toes. With its blend of challenge and unpredictability, mastering Spelunky becomes an addictive pursuit. Players will find that each run offers valuable lessons for future attempts. 18. Ninja Gaiden series. The Ninja Gaiden series is renowned for its brutal difficulty and fast-paced action. Players must navigate through challenging levels filled with tough enemies and formidable bosses. Mastery requires precise timing and an understanding of combat mechanics, as even a single mistake can lead to defeat. The game's emphasis on skill-based combat and agility makes it a true test of reflexes. Players will need to practice extensively to learn enemy patterns and develop effective strategies. With its engaging gameplay and punishing difficulty, mastering Ninja Gaiden offers a rewarding challenge for those willing to invest the time. Each victory feels earned, showcasing the player's skill and determination. 17th. Monster Hunter series. Monster Hunter offers players the chance to take on massive creatures in an expansive world. Mastering this series requires understanding each monster's behavior and attack patterns. Players must learn to select appropriate gear and weapons that suit their playstyle and the specific monster they are hunting. The game encourages teamwork, making communication essential for success in multiplayer hunts. Strategy and timing play significant roles in overcoming tough battles, as players must avoid devastating attacks while dealing damage. The depth of crafting and character progression adds layers of complexity to the experience. With its challenging gameplay and cooperative elements, mastering Monster Hunter becomes a rewarding endeavor. 16. Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight is a beautifully crafted Metroidvania that combines exploration with challenging combat. Players must navigate a vast, interconnected world filled with difficult enemies and platforming challenges. Mastery involves understanding enemy behaviors, mastering combat techniques, and exploring every nook and cranny for upgrades. The game's stunning art style and atmospheric soundtrack enhance the experience, inviting players to delve deeper into its lore. Each boss fight is a test of skill, requiring players to learn patterns and devise effective strategies. The sense of accomplishment from defeating challenging foes is immensely satisfying. With its depth and complexity, mastering Hollow Knight offers a rich and rewarding journey. 15. The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild redefined open-world gaming, but mastering its mechanics requires players to adapt to various environments and challenges. Exploration is key, as players must learn to utilize Link's abilities to overcome obstacles and solve puzzles. Combat requires timing and strategy, as players face enemies with different attack patterns. Mastery involves experimenting with weapon combinations, utilizing environmental elements, and discovering hidden secrets. The game encourages creative problem-solving, pushing players to think outside the box. While it may seem accessible at first, the depth of Breath of the Wild reveals itself through exploration and mastery of its systems. Each player's journey is unique, offering countless ways to experience the game. 14. Returnal is a roguelike shooter that challenges players with its fast-paced gameplay and intricate mechanics. Players control Celine, navigating a mysterious alien world filled with hostile creatures. Mastery involves adapting to the game's unforgiving nature, as death leads to the loss of progress and items. Each run offers new opportunities and challenges, encouraging players to experiment with different strategies and weapon combinations. The game's unique art style and haunting atmosphere enhance the sense of immersion. Learning enemy patterns and optimizing movement is crucial for survival. With its blend of roguelike elements and challenging gameplay, mastering Returnal presents a rewarding yet punishing experience. The Witness. The Witness is a first-person puzzle game that challenges players with its intricate and often abstract puzzles. Set on a mysterious island, players must navigate and solve puzzles that require keen observation and logical thinking. Mastery involves understanding the underlying mechanics of the puzzles, as they often build upon one another. The game's open-world design encourages exploration, but many puzzles are hidden and can be easily overlooked. Players must think critically to connect clues and develop strategies for solving each challenge. The minimalist art style and atmospheric soundtrack create an immersive experience, making each solved puzzle feel like a significant achievement. With its unique approach to puzzle design, Mastering the Witness offers a rewarding mental workout. 12th. Factorio. Factorio is a simulation game focused on resource management and automation. Players must build and optimize factories, balancing resource production and logistics. Mastery involves understanding complex systems and finding efficient layouts to maximize productivity. The game's depth becomes apparent as players expand their factories and tackle increasingly intricate challenges. Each decision can significantly impact efficiency, requiring players to think critically about their designs. The cooperative multiplayer mode adds another layer of complexity, as players must communicate effectively to achieve common goals. With its addictive gameplay and endless possibilities, mastering Factorio is a rewarding experience for those who enjoy strategy and planning. 11th. Darkest Dungeon. Darkest Dungeon combines turn-based combat with a unique stress mechanic, challenging players to manage both their heroes and the psychological toll of adventuring. Mastery requires understanding character classes, enemy weaknesses, and the importance of stress management. Players must make tough decisions about when to retreat and which heroes to risk in dangerous dungeons. The game's dark themes and atmospheric art style create a compelling experience, but its punishing difficulty keeps players on their toes. Each failure leads to valuable lessons for future attempts, adding to the game's depth. Mastering Darkest Dungeon involves learning from setbacks and adapting strategies to succeed in this unforgiving world. 10th. Star Wars Jedi: Fallen Order. Star Wars Jedi: Fallen Order combines action-adventure gameplay with a rich narrative set in the Star Wars universe. Players control Cal Kestis, who must navigate challenging environments and engage in combat against formidable foes. Mastery involves understanding the intricacies of lightsaber combat and platforming mechanics. The game encourages exploration, rewarding players who seek out secrets and upgrades. Each enemy encounter requires strategy, as players must learn to time their attacks and parries effectively. The compelling story and immersive world draw players in, making each victory feel hard-earned. Mastering Fallen Order is a journey of growth and discovery within the iconic Star Wars saga. 9. For Honor. For Honor offers a unique blend of melee combat and strategic gameplay. Players choose from various factions and engage in intense battles, requiring a deep understanding of each character's strengths and weaknesses. Mastery involves learning the combat mechanics, including blocking, dodging, and countering attacks. The game's competitive nature demands precise timing and quick decision-making, as players must adapt to their opponent's strategies. Team-based gameplay adds another layer of complexity, requiring effective communication and coordination. With its engaging combat and rich lore, Mastering For Honor becomes an exhilarating challenge for those dedicated to honing their skills. 8. The Stanley Parable. The Stanley Parable is a unique narrative-driven experience that challenges players' perceptions of choice and control in gaming. While it may seem straightforward at first, the game's various endings and hidden paths require players to explore thoroughly. Mastery involves understanding the game's narrative structure and uncovering its many secrets. Players must navigate a world that playfully subverts traditional gaming tropes, encouraging experimentation and exploration. Each choice leads to different outcomes, prompting players to rethink their decisions and approaches. The game's clever writing and innovative design make Mastering the Stanley Parable a thought-provoking experience. 7. Tetris. Tetris is a classic puzzle game that seems simple at first glance, but becomes increasingly complex as the speed and difficulty escalate. Mastery involves quick reflexes and strategic thinking to fit falling blocks together efficiently. Players must anticipate future pieces and plan their moves to clear lines and achieve high scores. The game's addictive nature encourages continuous play, as each session offers a new challenge. Understanding the nuances of piece rotation and positioning is essential for success. With its timeless design and competitive nature, Mastering Tetris remains a goal for gamers across generations. 6. Metal Gear Solid Series. The Metal Gear Solid series combines stealth gameplay with intricate storytelling, challenging players to navigate complex missions while avoiding detection. Mastery requires an understanding of enemy AI and the environment, allowing players to execute stealthy maneuvers effectively. Each game in the series introduces new mechanics and challenges, demanding adaptability from players. The deep lore and memorable characters add to the experience, making each mission feel significant. Players must also master the use of gadgets and equipment to succeed in their objectives. With its blend of action and strategy, mastering Metal Gear Solid becomes an immersive and rewarding journey. Celeste is a platformer that tests players' skills with tight controls and challenging levels. Players guide Madeline as she ascends a mountain, facing a variety of obstacles along the way. Each level introduces new mechanics that require quick thinking and flawless execution. The game's pixel art style is charming, but the difficulty ramps up significantly as players progress. Mastery involves not only mastering jumps, but also understanding the timing and positioning required to navigate hazards. The story elements add emotional depth, motivating players to conquer their challenges. With its combination of platforming challenges and heartfelt storytelling, Celeste remains a standout title that rewards dedication and skill. 4th, Hitman series. The Hitman series focuses on stealth gameplay, allowing players to take on the role of Agent 47, a skilled assassin. Mastery involves understanding each level's intricacies, including NPC behavior and environmental opportunities. Players must develop strategies to eliminate targets discreetly while avoiding detection. The game encourages creativity, as there are multiple ways to approach each mission, rewarding players who experiment with different tactics. The intricate level design and emphasis on planning make mastering Hitman a unique challenge. Each successful mission showcases the player's skills and understanding of the game's mechanics. 3. Darkest Dungeon. Darkest Dungeon combines turn-based combat with a unique stress mechanic, challenging players to manage both their heroes and the psychological toll of adventuring. Mastery requires understanding character classes, enemy weaknesses, and the importance of stress management. Players must make tough decisions about when to retreat and which heroes to risk in dangerous dungeons. The game's dark themes and atmospheric art style create a compelling experience, but its punishing difficulty keeps players on their toes. Each failure leads to valuable lessons for future attempts, adding to the game's depth. Mastering Darkest Dungeon involves learning from setbacks and adapting strategies to succeed in this unforgiving world. The Binding of Isaac. The Binding of Isaac is a roguelike dungeon crawler where players must navigate procedurally generated levels filled with enemies and items. Each run offers different challenges, making mastery a constant learning experience. Players must adapt their strategies based on the items they find and the enemies they encounter. Understanding item synergies and how they affect gameplay is key to success. The game's unpredictable nature means players must be prepared for anything, requiring quick thinking and adaptability. The deep lore and unique art style add to the game's charm, enticing players to explore further. With its addictive gameplay loop, mastering The Binding of Isaac is both challenging and rewarding. 1. Bloodborne. Bloodborne is renowned for its challenging gameplay and intricate lore. Set in a gothic world, players must navigate treacherous environments and face formidable enemies. Mastery involves mastering the game's fast-paced combat and understanding enemy patterns. The unique healing mechanic encourages aggressive play, rewarding players who take risks. The rich lore and interconnected world design invite exploration and discovery. Each boss encounter is a test of skill, requiring players to learn and adapt. With its stunning art direction and immersive atmosphere, mastering Bloodborne offers a deeply rewarding experience for those who thrive on challenge and complexity.